Welcome, Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more fans. I know like 12 hours ago I posted Amsterdam and Shaun of the Dead, and here I am again. Did I really go back to the theater? No, I didn't. I did watch a different movie that just released on Blu-ray, and I want to talk a little about it because I actually know one of the people involved who made this movie. It was a Wisconsin movie. I'm from Wisconsin, and it's about a Wisconsin personality. I'm talking about Ed Gein, the musical. That's right. I actually remembered to grab the copy of what I'm talking about. So I just got done watching it. I had never seen it before. I actually had heard the music before, as I have a copy of the soundtrack. Again, because I know somebody who worked on this movie. It's actually the person who did the music for the movie. So they were selling copies of the soundtrack, and I purchased one because I support my friends, which is also why I bought the Blu-ray of Ed Gein the Musical. Oddly enough, this movie was made in 2010, so it's 12 years old, and this is the first mass release of it that I'm aware of. As far as I know, it's only ever been shown at like festivals and those kind of things, as they were searching for a distributor. Now they have one in SRS, which is not a company I am really familiar with as far as their release. I mean, it's a nice release. Like, it really is. After talking, because my friend also helped edit the movie, so I know what they were working with as far as what they submitted. So, I mean, it looks good. It looks, given the fact it's supposed to be based on the story of Ed Gein, who was a Wisconsin murderer back in the 50s. I want to say it was because he died in the 80s, as an old man. Back in the 50s, at least according to the movie. I did not fact check these actual events. Actually, I might say in 1957. Ed Gein murdered two people, desecrated a lot of corpses. He's called a mass murderer, but he only actually killed two people. The problem was he dug up a lot of bodies, and therefore it became something because of what he was doing with all of these bodies as he was making things with them, which is also probably the most memorable thing in this movie that stands out for me is towards the end of the movie, he digs up a corpse who might be the woman on the poster art. It might be that corpse. It might be a different corpse. Anyways, since Ed Gein is crazy, he hallucinates in song, talking to this particular corpse about, once he's done with her and he begins to make things with her, what kind of lampshade she wants to be. And her response in song is that her options are first they go over the type of lampshade, and that wasn't as fun. That one was not as fun. What was fun was if she wanted to be a floor lamp, a ceiling lamp, or a desk lamp, or table lamp, I think is the actual term. So which type of lampshade do you want to be? Do you want to be a ceiling lampshade, a floor lampshade, or desk lampshade? And the response is, whores are ceiling light whores get turned into ceiling lights, gutter sluts get turned into floor lights, but good girls are table lights. And that I loved that. That was great. That was a great moment. Also, a scene towards the end when Ed is about to be sent to the mental hospital, and the sheriff is talking to him, and there's a song, and a person, like, it's supposed to be like somebody in Ed Gein's head singing to him, and then at the end you find out it's just a dude who's also in prison, who isn't in his cell, and has a guitar and is just singing. Also played by the person I know. Will Kaiser is the person I know from this production. He plays that character, and it was a good moment. I thought the song was good, but I thought the joke at the end, with him being told to get back to his cell, and then being handed the keys. Like, this is... So, I think they call him Otis, which I think is a reference to the Andy Griffith Show, because Otis is the drunk who they let into the cell. And I think they actually do give him the keys in the Andy Griffith Show as well. I'm not that big of an Andy Griffith Show fan. So what is this movie? What is Ed Gein the Musical? Like, I've talked about some things I liked about it. Obviously, it's a low-budget film, so I'm not gonna, like, rag on it that much, because, honestly, it was a very enjoyable hour and a half. Was it a perfect hour and a half? No, but for what it was a very enjoyable hour and a half, and therefore there's no reason to, like, get in on those things. Like, you do what you can. Like, I've made low budget films. Well, I've made no budget films. This one, it got released. People have seen it. They're doing way better than me. So, but I know you have constraints. There are always constraints, and that is something you don't make fun of someone because of their constraints, unless of course those constraints they should be doing what they're doing with what they've got. This one actually, they have some good 50s cars. They keep everything trying to look the best it can. So there isn't anything detrimental to that. Anyways, the movie actually is about the second person Ed Gein kills, him being arrested, and basically the entire story of Ed Gein is told through flashback, but told from Ed Gein. So it's told from that psychopathic mindset that Ed Gein has. So it's this like twisted fairy tale almost of what Ed Gein had done and what he was doing. So it's him like dealing with his abusive parents, him digging up a corpse for the first time, him murdering his first victim, because obviously the movie opens. The opening of the movie is a little muddy. They clear it up, like they make it clear, but it takes a couple of minutes to make it clear because it's Ed going to the hardware store where he kills his second victim, and making a purchase and then killing his victim with a gun, while at the same time somebody is hunting a deer on Ed Gein's land. Now, again, they clarify it very well, but because the trucks they're using are very similar looking trucks, the guy who's not playing Ed Gein, the guy who's playing the hunter, is dressed and looks very similar to Ed Gein. It took me a minute to realize that these were two different things happening, and not and that's why it looked so weird and had so many like inconsistencies, because it was two different things happening at the same time, showing you this deer hunter hunting a deer while juxtaposed to Ed Gein hunting a victim. Once it was clarified, it did clarify itself, especially once you get further into the movie and it does turn into, we're seeing these moments of Ed Gein's life through Ed Gein that it was hard to know, because I was also wondering, is this just what Ed Gein, like, I didn't even know that's what the movie was going to do, but I was questioning, because again, I felt like the dude playing the hunter looked so close to Ed Gein, and we were just starting the movie, that I wasn't certain if this was like what he was thinking he was doing, that he was thinking he was hunting this person, but he was actually hunting a deer, that he was hunting a deer, but it was actually a person. Again, it clarified it, what it was all doing a minute or two later. It just took that minute or two to get there. So yeah, overall, it's not bad. It's not bad. Again, if you're expecting Citizen Kane, which I don't know why I'm using that example, because I've watched Citizen Kane. It's a fine movie. I don't think it's like anything super amazing. I thought it was fine, but it's an enjoyable movie. If you like weird musicals, if you like, based on cannibals and killers, I do. I love Cannibal the Musical. It's a good time. It's a good time. You're not going to regret checking out Ed Gein the Musical. The version, because I bought this back when it first was available for purchase, which I think was August. It didn't ship until the first week of October. I got it on Monday. But it's now Saturday. So it shipped last week. My copy also came with a poster, and again, I also have a copy of the soundtrack. At some point, I might get my friend to sign this copy. I actually saw him the other day, and I just didn't grab it beforehand because I hadn't watched it yet. And like, I was okay with telling him, yeah, I got a copy, I own a copy, but it seemed weird. Like, oh, I've never seen it. Here, sign this. Like, that seems weird. Like, if you're gonna ask someone to sign something, at least know the material that you're asking them to sign. But anyways, yeah. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. I don't know. SRS might have its own streaming service. But again, it is now on Blu-ray. Ed Gein the Musical. It's a weird time. Hold up. So it has quotes on the back. Like, it actually does have a description on the back. It comes with a commentary. It comes with a commentary track. I didn't listen to it. It doesn't actually say who's on it. I'm assuming it's Dan Davis and Steve Russell. Dan Davis is the star who plays Ed Gein and wrote the movie. And Steve Russell is the director. So I'm assuming that's who's on the commentary. Could be wrong. Ed Gein the Musical fills a niche that few knew ever existed. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Again, if you're aware of Cannibal the Musical, which is a trauma film, so that's just about as, obscure. That makes sense. That's a dude from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I'm not surprised. The Onion says, past cinematic exploits inspired by infamous Wisconsin serial killer Ed Gein have always been sorely lacking for whimsy, but Ed Gein the Musical more than makes up for it. It's true, Ed Gein the Musical. It's a very whimsical movie. It definitely looks at this tragic event in Wisconsin history from a very interesting look at it. And Colin Covert at the Minneapolis Star-Tribune says, Ed Gein the Musical is Sweeney Todd in a red plaid shirt, a macabre melody of Midwestern murder, mayhem, and myth. This extravaganza is a tuneful treatise on deviant psychology. It is also creative, technological, competent, and bloody confident. In its tastelessness, Dan Davis really throws himself into the role of this timid, childlike ghoul. And I do gotta, give that credit. Dan Davis, I've never met him before. I'm aware of him. I think we're friends on Facebook. But yeah, he does, because Ed Gein, the way Ed Gein sees himself versus who Ed Gein is, it's a very interesting part of the movie, because Ed Gein is a balding man, very timid, very shy, but the way he sees himself is like this, full head of hair, sexy, so Dan plays both of these roles, and does a very good job with both of them. Again, if you get a chance, check out Ed Gein the Musical, check it out. It's good. It's fun. It's a fun musical. It's got a lot of really fun music in it. And, if you've ever been interested in the Ed Gein story, it kind of covers a lot of those bases. All right, well, thank you for checking out this Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more bonus video for Ed Gein the Musical. Check out some of my way future videos. I'm sure I have a poster for Ed Gein that came with it that I think I'm hanging, and it might be in camera for my normal weekly videos. I'm not 100% sure. I know where it's going. I think it's going to be over a shoulder because I'm taking down the thing that is there and I'm replacing it. But yeah, check it out. Check out Ed Gein the Musical if you get a chance. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will talk to you later. Yeah, have a good one.